Today we got some really interesting Grand Theft Auto 6 news written in a Bloomberg article by Jason Schreier. Now Bloomberg does get its stick here and there, but it is a very well sourced article, and Jason Schreier is, I would say, a tier 1 source. So today we're going to focus a little bit around this article, go into detail with everything around GTA 6, give some details around the story, what potentially we're going to see when it comes, the release date potentially, and some more information around the working conditions of Rockstar and why we don't really hear much around GTA 6 and why really there's not as much of a rush to get this game out the door. But yeah, all the details are going to be here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe for more content coming, and let's dive straight into it. So, kicking off, it was reported around a year ago that there was a lot of controversy within Rockstar internally with a lot of their developers, senior developers, and just overall management with the working conditions within the company. There was an article published by The Guardian, which I'll detail down below in the description if you're interested to go and have a read of that, which goes into detail around a lot of really poor working conditions, people working 80 to 100 hour weeks, and the crunch overall just being really serious on Red Dead Redemption 2's development and even some Grand Theft Auto 5 DLC. Just reading off a couple of quotes from this article. I worked 80-hour weeks at Rockstar until I had a breakdown. If I hadn't, my contract would have been terminated. There are plenty of ways to force a person. And on the other side of that as well, in the time that I've been at the studio, work practices have definitely improved. Crunch on Red Dead Redemption 2 has definitely been a lot better than it was on GTA 5, where on a lot of occasions I was pulling a month of 70 plus hours weeks. This isn't saying overtime doesn't happen. I'll do somewhere between 40 to 45 hour weeks, and then that will go up to 60 hours per week or two when deadlines loom. Again guys, I'll leave the article down below in the description for you to go and check it out, have a read through and just see exactly what the conditions were like. But after this controversy was out, Rockstar essentially just wanted to make things better and not have this focus on them when they're trying to put out a game that's going to be as big as Grand Theft Auto 6. So what does this mean for Grand Theft Auto 6's complete development going forward? When will it be done? When can we expect it? And what does the overhaul within Rockstar actually look like? Well, Jason Schreier went on to quote this. Rockstar's overhaul started in 2018 when staff called out its culture of crunch, bullying, and frat house antics. The company has ousted managers accused of abuse and promised to cut down on overtime. One employee calls it a boys' club transformed into a real company. Sounds very familiar to another company that we all know. Rockstar removed transphobic jokes from the most recent release of GTA 5 and also quietly cancelled an online mode called Crops and Crooks after the George Floyd protest. Grand Theft Auto 6 will have a female Latina protagonist, the first playable woman in modern Rockstar history. Now this is massive for a GTA game in general really. Since the beginning of Grand Theft Auto, it's been heavily focused around the story of gangsters which have been males, and they've never really focused too much on the main story of being a female. So this is the first game that's going to do that, and yeah, I'm all for it. I hope the story is going to be good. Just adding on to here slightly as well as to why we haven't really heard of anything around GTA 6 in a very long time, and why it's really took so long before we've even started to get leaks and rumors about this game. Well, this is due to the production on Grand Theft Auto 6 being a lot slower than expected, largely to do with obviously the pandemic and also due to these overall culture changes within Rockstar as employees begin to grow accustomed to working at this new Rockstar. But it's nothing to be concerned about. Now that people within Rockstar, developers and people working on the game have come out publicly and said that morale is higher than ever after these culture changes at the company. So it is well worth it, and I'm 100% certain we're going to get an amazing game because of this. But just to go into the Bloomberg article a little bit deeper here and give you a bit more information around the reasoning behind this and the thought process behind this new female protagonist. So the main protagonist will be a Latina woman, and it will be one of a pair who is leading characters in a story by the bank robbers Bonnie and Clyde. Developers are also being cautious not to punch down by making jokes about marginalized groups, the people said, in contrast with previous Grand Theft Auto games. So potentially we're going to have a female and a male protagonist that are going to be working together, which would be interesting as well, and maybe you can choose at the start what you want to be or who you want to be. We don't really know, this is just speculation right now, so take it with a pinch of salt, but we do know that of course at least one of the characters will be a Latina woman that we can play as if we want to, I think. Now, when is Grand Theft Auto 6 going to release? When should we expect this game to come to our consoles and PC? Well, Jason says it's likely around 2 years away from now. Developers on the next Grand Theft Auto title say that the game should be out sometime in Take-Two's 2024 financial year, which typically runs from April 23rd throughout to March 2024. But the developers are pretty skeptical about these tentative dates. The game has been in development in some form since 2014, although there are a couple of loose schedules and dates floating around the internet right now. There's not actually a fully confirmed date as to when this game will release, but it is projected to be within the next 2 years and within that financial year period. However, it's interesting to know that earlier this year, a group of designers which were working heavily on Grand Theft Auto 6 actually quit Rockstar's Edinburgh office due to them being sick of the lack of progress on this game. There's not a lot that's mentioned in this article around exactly what that entails. Now, where is GTA 6 going to be situated in the world? There are a lot of rumours and speculation as to where this map might be situated in the world, but we do have it kind of confirmed here for us in this article, and that is Miami. The early plans for this game was for Rockstar to include large portions of North and South America, but this had to be reeled in, and they have focused on Miami. Now, original plans for GTA 6, which is codenamed Project Americas, were for it to be bigger than any Grand Theft Auto game to date. Early designs for the game called for the inclusion of territories modelled after large swaths of the North and South America, according to people very familiar with the plans of the game. But the new map is actually now based on a fictionalized Miami, which will in fact update over time. Rockstar's plan is to continually update the game over time, adding new missions and cities on a regular basis, which leadership hopes will lead to less crunch during the game's final months. Look, I'm all for this. I love an ever-evolving map as well, and if we can just continuously expand this one map, just thinking, again, another 10 years from now, which is probably how long this game's going to last for, this map is going to be absolutely ridiculously big. Depends on the compute power of this game and the engine it's ran on, if this can be done to some stupid extreme, but it's interesting to think about what the potential for this could actually be. I can only imagine there'll be some places from Vice City in there as well, and some throwbacks to that original game in this new map too. So maybe it could be like San Andreas and Los Santos. It's kind of a mix between the two. I would imagine that we might see something very similar like that as well, with just some added bits and some very updated graphics and textures. One really interesting point about this as well is one thing that I've always really wanted on GTA games, and that's to be able to explore more buildings and more interior locations on different areas around the map. I could walk into a building if I want to that looks really, really cool and just look inside it. This apparently is also coming to GTA 6. There'll be way more interior locations around this map than any other GTA game before, so that could be new properties like we see in GTA 6, that could be skyscrapers, abandoned buildings across the map, different things like this where you can go and just explore. Apparently this is more of a thing coming to the game, a more exploratory feature around this map, which I'm very much looking forward to. Really hope that we see something like this. But a lot of this information has been slowly leaked out, and I think Tom Henderson did a video back in 2021 basically detailing the majority of this information, so yeah, kudos to him for that. But this gives you an update as to where we are with GTA 6. We should be expecting it within 2 years from now, along with some details around where the map is going to be based, some of the details on the map, the female protagonist who will be able to play as well, in sort of a Bonnie and Clyde storyline, which will be very interesting too. Note to self, there could be more characters involved in this that we could play or play with. It may not but just be this female protagonist who may be able to choose who we play as, or we may have more people around us as well, rather than just soloing it this one character. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But guys, let me know what you think down below in the comments about this. Are you excited for Grand Theft Auto 6? I very much am, and I can't wait for the game to come just to play through the story and have a lot of fun with that. But yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of the day. Speak soon and take care.